Alright, here is my camera mount for my kayak. I used a selfie stick that I picked up off of eBay for less than $10 shipped. It extends to 43 inches or so, I believe. And I'm able to mount that into or slide that into a 3/4 inch PVC pipe. It just happened to fit nicely in a 3/4 inch. It's a fairly tight fit. It doesn't wobble around, but it's easy to get in and out as well. And then I picked up a 3/4 inch cap. I drilled a 5/16 hole in it, and I'm using a 5/16 bolt and nut to mount to the track system. Now, one thing to mention, a T-bolt would work better for this. You can use a regular bolt. It's just more difficult to mount to the track system. You have to use upward pressure while you're twisting it to get it to tighten. But it does work. But I do plan on buying a T-bolt at some point and adding it to it later. So basically, I just used JB Weld in the cap. I didn't use the cement that you see there. I ended up just using the JB Weld to secure the cap to the pipe as well. But I used the JB Weld to secure the nut to the PVC so it wouldn't spin. Alright, so I made sure the nut was flush with the bolt, pushed it down where the nut was flush with the PVC, and then I added the JB Weld directly to it. And I added it one part first and then the second part, and just mixed it up in the PVC. It seemed to work out better that way. The only thing, you got to be careful not to get any of the compound on the threads in the center, but it wasn't too difficult. So the reason I decided to go this route using the selfie stick and the PVC pipe was because it was extendable, and I looked forever trying to find an extendable track mountable camera mount, and I just couldn't find any. The only ones that I was finding from Yak Attack, really Yak Attack was the only one that I did find, 2 of them, and they were a fixed height, and I was really surprised that no one is making an extendable camera mount so you can adjust the height. And maybe somebody does, but I looked for quite a while and just decided to go this route with the selfie stick. And my other thought was that I can pull the selfie stick out easily, and for underwater shots or different camera angles, where it'd be more difficult if it was a one piece and you had to remove the whole system from the track. So I think it's going to work out well. Here I'm just mixing it up inside, and I did let it sit overnight. It says it sets in 4 minutes, but I let it sit overnight before I applied any pressure to it. And I was originally going to use PVC glue to glue the pipe together, but I kind of thought better about that after I was halfway through this process, and I just went ahead and stuck the PVC pipe in there with the JB Weld, and it seems to be holding up. So. Alright, so here's the finished product after I painted it and beveled the end with a sander. I got it mounted to the kayak, and it seems to be working well. The one thing I was surprised about is the track systems on these are pretty loose, and you get a lot of wobble. And I did try to tighten it up. The screws, there's 3 screws that I tightened, and it really didn't help. So I think that's just the way it's going to be, and I have taken some videos with it, and you don't really notice the wobble that much unless you're in some wavy conditions, so I think it's going to work out. Easy to remove it, easy to stick it back in. Easy to extend. So there it is.